Hey, welcome back to JB Breaks Free. I hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday. Breaking free from whatever is holding you back. I hope you're at ease today, at peace. I am trying to do the same. I've been really focusing on happiness and recognizing that if I'm not happy in the moment, perhaps it's something from the past or the future that I'm anxious about or worried about, and I'm not in the present moment where I should be. And also that about 99% of the things that we worry about are not going to happen. So with that said, I'm having a free, happy, peaceful day. Go back to waiting tables tonight. I opened up my Spark delivery app and Instacart this morning and was waiting to see what I got. First thing that came up was a $59 order from Walmart. It was like 98 items or something like that. Barely all fit in the cart. I was using all my Tetris packing skills to fit it all in there. Under the cart was tons of water and soda. It was quite heavy, but I used the mindset that it was my exercise, and I walked around Walmart for an hour and a half. It took me, and I delivered it. And it was hard to carry that stuff up to the door. It just didn't fall right. So carrying it from my car, like across the lawn to the door on the other side of the house, because that's the driveway was, I looked at it as exercise. And the house was actually about 2 spots down from the restaurant where I work at. And my boss was outside. He waved, said hello. I kind of liked that he saw me out there working, and it's going to be a good night. I haven't waited tables since Saturday, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And I did get a tip on that order, I should say, and made $75 in about an hour and a half. And that's all I did today. I did some errands afterwards, read this chapter of this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. You are what you think you are. And it reminded me of a Stoic quote by Marcus Aurelius that says, your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. And I think a lot of this is true. I think we are what we think we are. And we got to keep those thoughts positive, whether it's self-talk, how we treat ourselves, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We got to put the best into ourselves. He does talk a lot about appearance in this chapter, mostly with clothes. And I get what he's saying, but the best I've been in these last probably 3 years or so, I did not put much effort into clothes at all. I wear a lot of the same things. I wear a zip-up blue hoodie. Most of the time you can look at the videos from last winter. I guess this winter I haven't worn the hoodie as much. But it's just t-shirt and jeans. Most of the time I got a few extra long sleeve shirts. And I do think to myself that I'm not looking that impressive overall. I mean, I don't think I'm standing out. But I don't let that bother me. I think I'm past that. I also don't have a job where that really comes into play, where I have a uniform at work, and I come home and I just be comfortable with jeans and a hoodie, or I wear shorts around the house when I get comfortable and relax and take my jeans off. And it's really not much more than that, but I get what he's saying. So take what you want to take out of this. So you are what you think you are. He says, watch. I'll put my glasses on for this part. He says, watch. You'll observe some people command confidence, loyalty, and admiration while others do not. What is the explanation? It can be distilled into one word, thinking. Thinking does make it so. Others see in us what we see in ourselves. We receive the kind of treatment we think we deserve. Perhaps I can relate to that a little bit. Maybe I didn't think I deserved great treatment for a while at work, and maybe that's why I was an easy target sometimes. Sometimes I wonder about that. How you think determines how you act. How you act in turn determines how others react to you. And I've been trying to act better, whereas if I get a blow towards me, whether that's an insult, whether that's anything where I'm offended, it's a sparring partner, and my partner's seen how I have taken that blow and how I will react. I've learned something about my opponent, and my opponent has learned something about me. And hopefully I've put in some effort to command more respect and to handle those things better. Like other phases of your personal program for success, winning respect is fundamentally simple. To gain respect from others, you must first think you deserve respect. Sounds about right. Self-respect shows, though, in everything we do. Let's focus our attention now on some specific ways we can increase self-respect and thereby earn more respect from others. He says, look important. It helps you think important. Rule, remember your appearance talks. Be sure it says positive things about you. Never leave home without feeling certain that you look like the kind of person you want to be. And I do. I don't really dress up. I have a couple button-down shirts, I guess, if I really gotta snazz it up. And I used to like to maybe dress a little too fancy. But at the same time, I think a lot of that is a cover, for unhappiness or insecurity, where I'm pretty confident now that I can wear my blue hoodie out when it's cold and, pair of jeans, and I'm good to go. I don't need to be flashy. I don't need a big car, or a big house. I'm happy with a paid-off mortgage and comfortable clothes. I like being comfortable more than anything else, and I like being frugal. I like being minimalist, and while I don't wear the same thing every day, it's a handful of things, for sure. Let's see. So he says, use clothing as a tool to lift your spirits, to build confidence. Goes, make no mistake about it, your physical exterior affects your mental interior. How you look on the outside affects how you feel on the inside. I do get a bit of that, and I do feel like I'm a bit out of shape at the moment, and I'm pretty good at making things disappear. I made debt disappear. I made mortgage disappear. I can make anxiety disappear. I can make items disappear that I resell. I'll make this disappear? I think so. That's the debt I got to pay down next. I'm ready to do it. I'm sitting with some discomfort right now. I have a sweet tooth, and I just want sweets. But I'm being good. Today's going to be a good day. Your appearance talks to you, but it also talks to others. Let's see. He goes, your appearances is the first basis for evaluation other people have, and first impressions last out of all proportion to the time it takes to form them. The point is, the better you are packaged, the more public acceptance you will receive. Tomorrow, watch who is shown the most respect and courtesy in restaurants, which is something I can relate to. Buses, crowded lobbies, stores, at work. People look at another person, make a quick and often subconscious appraisal, and then treat him accordingly. And I guess that is unfair. For sure. We look at some people and respond with, hey, Mac, attitude, while we look at others and respond with, yes, sir, feeling. Yes, a person's appearance definitely talks. The well-dressed person's appearance says positive things. It tells people, here's an important person, intelligent, prosperous, and dependable. This man can be looked up to, or woman, to be admired, trusted. He respects himself, and I respect him. The shabby-looking fellow's appearance says negative things. It says, here's a person who isn't doing well. He's careless, inefficient, unimportant. He's just an average person. He deserves no special consideration. He's used to being pushed around. I don't know, I felt like I get pushed around a little bit. But it is what it is. Look your best, and you will think and act your best. And I do feel that you look good, you're confident, you're going to work better. I do get that part of what he's saying. I like to cut my hair and get a fresh start into the restaurant on big nights. If I'm feeling more confident, if I'm feeling a little bit slimmer, how the shirt's fitting a little bit better, biceps feel a little bit bigger, I always feel a little bit better about yourself. It releases endorphins, right, when you work out. Think your work, okay, so yes, another way to you are what you think is to think your work is important. When asked, what are you doing? I kind of like this. The first bricklayer said, laying brick. The second answered, making $9.30 an hour. And the third said, me, why I'm building the world's greatest cathedral. So he's thinking, what did that third bricklayer probably end up being? He might have gone up to a foreman, a contractor, an architect, all because his thinking was big. Like your appearance, the way you think towards your work says things about you, to your superiors, your associates, your subordinates, in fact, to everyone whom you come in contact with. What do you think about your work? I do love my work, I do. Think you're weak? Think you lack what it takes? Think you will lose? Think you're second class? Think this way, and you're doomed to mediocrity. But think instead, I am important. I do have what it takes. I am a first-class performer. My work is important. Think this way, and you're headed straight to success. The key to winning what you want lies in thinking positively towards yourself. The only real basis for other people have for judging your abilities is your actions, and your actions are controlled by your thoughts. You are what you think you are. I think I'm a really good waiter. I think I'm maybe not the most technical waiter. I might not have the most knowledge of food and wine in the world, but in this community, I can take a lot of tables. I can remain calm. I can sell better than most people who I've ever seen at a restaurant. I push pretty hard, and we are brought up to push real hard. Add-ons to get the check up, and that's how you're going to make more money, and that's how the boss makes more money. And the more money he makes, the more money we make just by getting 18 to 20% of that. I feel like I've said before, you get to become part of people's families after a while. Yeah, that person who you're trying to upcharge on wine and mushroom and onions, eventually they become more than that. They become part of your family. And I mentioned we had just lost a bartender who used to work there a long time ago, and we actually just lost a customer yesterday who was my guy, who always wanted me to wait on him. And I'll miss him for sure. And he was tough, but he was never tough on me. And we had a good joking relationship. If something was wrong with the food, it wasn't my fault, which I liked. And he always appreciated my service, the way I said the specials, the way I treated him and his wife. I would sit down at the table with him, and I will miss Rick very, very much. Then he talks about the boss of the place. When the chief is nervous, tense, worried, his close associates reflect similar attitudes. But when Mr. Chief is on top, feeling good, so are his employees. The point is, the way we think toward our jobs determines how our subordinates think towards their jobs. And that's something I can relate to. If the boss is in a good mood, we're in a good mood. If he's going to start rattling cages at 4:45, then we're all going to be hyped up and nerved. If there's music going on in the kitchen, and there's joking, there's lightness, there's professionalism, but there's a lightness to it, then I think it just goes so much better. But sometimes it's difficult. But I also think that difficult is needed at times too. It's almost like you're on the road in a college football atmosphere, and he's the crowd, and he's getting on you, getting after you. But it makes everything else very simple, because if you can deal with that, if you can work under that, you can do anything. And I get it. The moral: practice uplifting self-praise. Don't practice belittling self-punishment. You are what you think you are. Think more of yourself, and the more you are. I like this. Build your own sell yourself commercial. So how would you sell yourself to yourself? He goes, here's how you sell yourself to yourself commercial. Select your assets, your points of superiority. Ask yourself, what are my best qualities? Don't be shy describing yourself. He says, practice it out loud. Read your commercial silently several times throughout the day. And to do that exercise. And how would I sell myself to myself? I'm Jay. I'm a good dad. I'm a good friend. I'm a good person. I'm a big thinker. I try to think positively. I'm a hustler. I work hard. I'm honest. I'm trustworthy. I'm dependable. I'm smart. I'm driven. I appreciate people. I'm empathetic. I'm enthusiastic. And those are just a few things. It's not easy. Maybe you could put in the comments, what's your sell yourself commercial? Get a little practice. And then finally, he goes, upgrade your thinking. Think like important people think. So there's a situation, and ask yourself, when I worry, so would an important person worry about this? Would the most successful person I know be disturbed by this? So the situation, an idea. What would an important person do if he had this idea? Maybe write it down, number one, so you don't forget about it, and act on it and think it's possible. Don't just shoot yourself down right away. So my appearance. Do I look like someone who has maximum self-respect? And again, I don't think you need a three-piece suit to look like someone who commands maximum self-respect. And, you don't need to be, anything other than yourself as long as you're happy with yourself. My language. Am I using the language of successful people? I'd like to think that I can speak relatively well and say the specials well and speak politely and not rudely or swear and stuff in public. Would I read? Would an important person read this? Yes. Conversation. Is this something successful people would discuss? I think so. When I lose my temper, what would an important person get mad at? What I'm mad at? Probably not. My jokes. Is this the kind of joke an important person would tell? My job. How does an important person describe his job to others? Well, I get to wait tables in one of the oldest restaurants in this city. Make people feel like family when they go out. I make them laugh. I make them comfortable. Give them what they want. Make sure if anything needs to change, I do it for them. I get along well with whom I'm working with. That isn't always the case, but I've learned several from my mistakes to just be calmer, to let things go, to not take things personally, to keep it cool, and to just be a generally happy person to be around. I'm helpful. It's a team effort there, and I'll have your back. So he says the final four things to remember. Use this question to make you a bigger, more successful person. In a nutshell, remember, look important. It helps you think important. Think your work is important. Think this way and you will receive mental signals on how to do your job better. Number 3, give yourself a pep talk several times daily. And I do this, maybe not in a sell yourself commercial way, but I've done it before. In a cold shower, let's go, hyping myself up before work. And number 4, in all of those situations, ask yourself, is this the way an important person thinks? Then obey that answer. Well, I hope you got a lot out of this chapter. I know I did. Next is chapter 7, manage your environment, go to first class. I'm excited to see what that means. I'll definitely talk to you guys on the next video. Break free and have a great day.